Welcome guys, so we're going to talk a little bit transfer news today. So it looks like Garnacho is moving to Chelsea. We've got Antony still floating around, Sancho still floating around, and you've got Kobe. So let's go for each one of those. So firstly, Garnacho to Chelsea, good riddance. So much talent. And I get it that Ruben's formation is not necessarily a formation for wingers, but it comes down to how much do you want to play for United. You know, you may have to change your game slightly, that's all. If you tuck it into that number 10, you've got to be working on getting more confident on the ball at your feet, maybe not taking players on as much, pass and move, getting into the spaces, shooting, not predictable shooting like Garnacho. But if it's not working out for you and you still want to go, then there are ways of doing this. But by being the tit that you are, that's the way you want to do it. You know, stupid little Instagram posts. Get a grip, man. Come on. Get a grip. It's good riddance. He's going to get slaughtered at Old Trafford. He ain't got a temperament for that. So if he starts for Chelsea at Old Trafford, give him absolute hell in the stands, because I think he'll sink under that. But crazy. Going to Chelsea as well, I think, is just crazy for anyone's career. They've got like an American football size squad. And do they really need him? And then you look at like, Byron Gittins, who come from Dortmund. He's going to be thinking, hold on a minute. Why signing me and Garnacho? It doesn't make sense, but 40 million I'm reading, it's not enough. It's not enough. When you've got players that are going for 40 million that are not got the potential, and they're paying for potential at the end of the day with Garnacho. If you're paying for Garnacho's potential, which is there, that's 40 million alone. So then you're playing for the current Garnacho. There should be another 20, 30 on top of that, to me. But it's looking like we are, whoever's in charge at United, we can't sell players very well. I was under the understanding Omar Barada was like this clinical guy with transfers. I didn't watch the Manchester City documentary, but when we signed a Barada, there was a little bit about him on one of the documentaries, and I watched it, and he looked ruthless. The way he was selling, like Fernandinho and people like that, and we thought, oh, we're getting a man. So there's a lot to show for the way we're dealing with getting players out. So that's Garnacho, good riddance. Have a lovely career. Antony, I think Antony's going to go to Betis personally. I think that'll be on transfer deadline day. I think they're holding back so they can get less Betis got to pay for him. Will it be a loan with an obligation? It could be. I don't know what Betis finances are like. I am surprised though, because he lit up Spain when he went there. So why is it only Betis that's floating around? I think even an Italian team should be going in for Antony, because I think he'd thrive in Italy as well. So that is a strange one, I have to admit. Malacia could be leaving. Again, that could be a loan with an obligation. I'm gutted on Malacia. I thought he was a really good fullback. Obviously, there could be issues. I know he had allegedly mental health issues. Could that be the thing? You just don't know. And it's Man United. If you ain't got the head right for any club, Man United's not the one you want to go to. Jadon Sancho, hilarious, really, refusing to go to Roma. What are you going to do? He's obviously just a money merchant, and that's what it is, because most of us work in jobs that we don't really want to work when we're working, but we do. And if we were told, look, you can go home if you want and we'll pay you your wages, we'd accept it. But if you were playing football, which you know is a short career, and the buzz and the adrenaline from playing football, you're going to want to go to another club. You know, at least Marcus got it, and he's gone to other clubs and done it, and Sancho's just hanging around. What's he going to do? Because he ain't going to play. You're going to wait there until December. Okay, he loves his PlayStation. Crack on, Johnny. Crazy. The Sancho one could happen. There could be a loan, hopefully with an obligation, so we get rid of this idiot from United. There should have been red flags when we signed him. That was the old board. There should have been red flags, because you're here in the city knew about these issues. Dortmund, he was late to training and stuff like that. It needs to be better. It needs to be better. Kobe. So, I don't think Kobe wants to leave United permanently. I think what Kobe knows is this World Cup in America. I'd love, as a player, you'd love to be in a World Cup in America because of the stadiums, and I just think it's going to be really good. I think England are in a decent place with Tuchel. So I think what Mainoo is sort of looking at is, I want to play football and go to the World Cup. Now, that means in theory he could come back 26, 27. But the media being the media, they're saying he wants to leave permanently. I don't believe that for a minute. I think he wants his World Cup. Personally, he should get the games. I don't see any reason that Kobe Mainoo shouldn't be in our midfield. Casemiro shouldn't. It should be Mainoo and one other. Looks like Fernandez. That's my personal opinion. Kobe can have the 35 games if he stays fit. And the FA Cup games. There's no reason. Now, I don't know. We don't know what goes on in training. We don't know. But for me personally, that Grimsby game was absolute shite. But Kobe, he was doing stuff. It's his first game as well. He was doing stuff in that game that if you are playing better, Kobe will thrive. He was switching the ball either side. He was moving forward a ball, pass and move. He was doing the right things for his first game. So I think they'll block it. And I think he will get the game time. Casemiro's a great player, but we're not going to have him for 35 games, surely. Even if it is every week. He hasn't got the legs in there. And I think Mainoo and Bruno, unless something major happens with a midfielder, should be the two. I don't agree with Bruno in that central midfielder, but hey-ho, who else you got? So yeah, Kobe, I hope he doesn't leave. I personally, if he has to leave for a season, send him to Brighton. They seem to do really well with their players. Send him to Brighton and we'll have him back. So that's currently the transfer situation. If there's anything else exciting happens, I'll jump back on the camera, guys. But I'll see you soon for a review of the Burnley game.